As India positions itself to emerge as a global hub for semiconductors and pharmaceuticals, the country is experiencing a significant transformation toward advanced manufacturing, cutting-edge technologies, and high-value innovation. Supported by government initiatives, increasing exports, expanding industrial infrastructure, and a growing pool of skilled engineers, India is entering a new phase of technology-driven growth. Against this backdrop, I spoke with Mr. Gaurav Thakral, Managing Director of Avant, Garde, Cleanroom and Engineering Solutions, to gain insights into India's progress in these two critical sectors. As India positions itself as a global hub of chips and pharma, today we are going to discuss the emerging technologies, talent and next-gen manufacturing. By my side, I have Mr. Gaurav Thakral, who is the Managing Director of Avant Garde Engineering Solutions. Sir, thank you so much for your time and thank you so much for joining in today's show.
Thank you very much, Harshit, and thank you so much to the ANI team for having us on board and discussing this India's journey into semicon and pharma. Very glad to be with you. Thank you.
So India is emerging as a global powerhouse of pharma sector basically. So when we talk about from bulk drug manufacturing to the high-end formulations, how do you see the growth trajectory of India in the current growth of pharma sector? And how do you see the key aspects of this industry or key trends that will shape its future?
The India's growth trajectory in the pharma is actually on an uprise. India is on a very high growth path for pharma, and also the allied industry with pharma, which is like nutraceutical. Now, why is this happening? India is, as you know, we have 1.45 billion Indians. So there is a extensive captive market within India. At ACES, ACES was established in 2010. This was at the time when, on the Indian landscape, pharma was the only major clean room application. Now, ACES had its bearing in all the kind of different pharma applications, and whether you call it oral medicines, that is tablets and capsules, or you call it injectables, or antibiotics, or hormones, you name it. And ACES was, in those, all those applications.
So I'll now cut to the semiconductor part in India. So if we talk about the semiconductor growth, or I would say we had the Semicon 2025 in India as well, that was held in Yashobhoomi, Dwarka. So the massive outlay of this program, like how is this, the ACES, or I would say, how do you see the scaling of the semiconductor sector? And I would also ask you about the resource deployment and the supply chain strategy of the Indian market in this sector.
Yes, Harshit, very relevant to the Indian context. As I mentioned to you that back in 2010, or say, let's say early 2000, the only major application in the country for clean rooms was pharmaceuticals, or maybe a distant second was hospitals. Now, as we go along, if you see from 2000 until 2010 and 2010 to 2020, the semicon, which is what we usually call as chips, they started, India started talking about chips. Why not we produce chips in India? Why not semicon in India? Now, that's a very relevant question because India's consumption of semicon is huge. Just to give you a perspective, it is possibly going to be the second largest import for India by 2030. So, I think it was very, I would say prudent for the Indian establishment, PM Modi, to see this as an opportunity and to usher India into a semicon wave.
How do you see the current Indian economy? There were a lot of US tariffs as well in previous months when US was giving us tariffs on the Indian market. How do you see, but still India is, standing as a self-reliant economy today. How do you see this?
Yes, Harshit, your question has an answer in it. So as I see it, India is a very robust and a resilient economy. And you said already self-reliant. So because of the sheer consumption power that India has. So that's by our side. The second big factor for India is the huge infrastructure development which is taking place at a rapid pace.
For surely we are going to see the India in terms of pharma or in terms of chip manufacturing as a leader by 2030 or 35, as you said. Well, sir, thank you so much for joining today on our show. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.